Hey guys, good morning, good afternoon. How's everybody doing? Just make sure that's muted. Okay. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I could not find my headphones. Of course, Mercury retrograde madness. I couldn't find my headphones, so hopefully you guys can hear me. How's everybody doing? Thanks so much for tuning in. So this is, my name's April, and I'm with Astrologer.com, and this is my weekly show called Coffee Talk, where I go over the astrology for the week, and I also get into some celebrity stuff, and look at it from an astrological point of view to kind of explain things as far as why people behave a certain way, why we're seeing them in the media so much, why are things coming up for them, and all that good stuff. So I'm sorry that I missed everybody yesterday. Of course, with Mercury retrograde, there was some technical difficulties with me getting on here, and so I had to push my time slot to today. But this is not the new time or anything for every week. This was just this one instance. Hopefully, I think Lotta and I fixed it. So yeah, so you guys should still see me next week on Friday. So yeah, so good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whatever. Today we're going to talk about the astrology for August 25th through September 1st of 2017. I usually go through one Friday to the next Friday. I do things a little different as a weird Uranian, so that's why my horoscopes are from one Friday to the next. And so I'm going to cover any minor and maybe some major transits too, like any transitions of one planet into a new sign and things like that. So, and then I get into the celebrity portion at the very end. Thank you so much, you guys. So I'm going to, for the celebrity portion, I actually had some stuff lined up. Like, I've been taking you guys' viewer requests, and I really appreciate them. People have been emailing me requests, and that's the best way to get a request, or to leave it under this video after it's already been recorded, because at times I do go back and look at the comments only for that purpose, to see if anybody gave any suggestions of who to talk about, excuse me, in a future Coffee Talk show. So yeah, that way, and also emailing me is the best way. So I had some lined up, but then I realized that yesterday when I was going to do this show, that it was the anniversary of the passing of Aaliyah. And I was like, you know what? Aaliyah is my girl. She's a sister to me in spirit, I like to believe, so I have to talk about her on this show this week. So, and I was all dressed and everything in some like Aaliyah type gear and all this stuff, and I got all, you know, glammed up in her style. And also it's gonna be Michael Jackson's birthday in a couple of days, on August 29th. So I had a Michael Jackson shirt on. I was ready to go. I had my coffee cup. I was ready, and then there was technical difficulties. Ugh. But today, that's what we're gonna talk about. Okay, so I'm going to talk about Aaliyah, and I'm also going to see if we have time to talk about Michael Jackson too. If not, maybe next week or whatever. I'll just give him an honorable mention. So yeah, today I did try to recreate another Aaliyah-inspired style. So, you know, she was an Aquarius ascendant. She wore style that was like ahead of her time. And I'm not saying I'm her or anything, although I have been compared to her by other people a lot. So now I'm like, okay, I guess I see some similarities. And in style, like during the time when she was out and popular, the style that she had, I was like, that's the style of stuff that I wore. Of course, she had a little more coin than I did to be able to afford some really, really cool and cute stuff. But that was like a style that I was already wearing, and then I saw her and I was like, oh, okay, continue to be inspired by her. So anyhow, that's why the weird long earring and all this stuff, because she was an Aquarius ascendant, very quirky, different style. Loved it. So I tried my best to kind of recreate something, although yesterday's outfit was so much better, but whatever, we're doing this today now. Okay. And also I do try to have when I have a new cup, or even when I don't have a new cup, I'll show you guys my coffee cup, right? So this is a new one. And because we are still in a season where there's Leo energy, there's Virgo, which we're going to talk about. There's Virgo energy and there's some Leo still hanging around. Leo energy is about shine and sparkle and gold and being glam and fabulous and all that. And I love it so much. So I got this cup. It says, unleash your inner sparkle. Isn't that cute? And it's got little gold sparkles and it's written in gold. That's so Leo, right? And for those of you who don't know, my midheaven is in Leo and my moon is in the 5th house. So I identify with a lot of Leo characteristics, I would say. So yes, unleash your inner sparkle out there to you guys who are watching. Yes. So, yeah, we're going to talk about the astrology of the week, what's going on. There's actually a lot going on. And I know I'm not going to be able to cover it 100% because then this will be a 2-hour broadcast and some people will get bored, okay? And I don't like to bore people, so I'm going to mention the ones that stand out the most to me. And also, you know, other fabulous astrologers like Lada have covered a lot of the stuff coming up this week too. So I'm going to try to, you know, keep it short and sweet, but still give a lot of information, okay? So let's talk first about today. Today, what's going on today on August 26th? Saturn is moving direct. And this is huge. This is huge, okay? Oh, you know what? Also, we also have Venus moving into Leo. Ooh, I'm really feeling that. I love that. I love Venus in Leo. But we'll talk about that in a little bit, right? So Saturn is moving direct. This has really been interesting, really interesting, Saturn moving direct. So Saturn has been retrograde for a few months now. I believe he went retrograde sometime in April of 2017, if I'm not mistaken. I should have looked up the date. Hello. But Saturn went retrograde. And when Saturn goes retrograde, you know, Saturn is the giver of huge life lessons. Saturn's energy, I always compare it to being a strict father, a strict boss, a strict father figure, like a drill sergeant, you know, like a Lieutenant Dan. That's like Saturnian energy. And wherever Saturn is transiting, wherever it is in your birth chart, it's where you can learn the hardest lessons, because what happens when you screw up and you actually have one of those figures in your life? What do if they really play that Saturnian role? They will tell you you messed up, of course. They'll rub your nose in crap, okay? Be like, look what you did, right? And then they will maybe punish you, or they will make you start all over again from the beginning, fresh, and do it step by step by step. And they may stand there watching you, or like a drill sergeant, you know, they're yelling at you, come on, soldier, da 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 da, you know. So that's Saturn's energy, okay? Now, how it plays out for us astrologically speaking, and how it shows out here in our lives, that is how it shows up is in lessons. And actually, there are people that can embody the role of Saturn in our lives. And from personal experience, I found that they usually are Saturnian people. Like, they are Capricorns, or they have Sun conjunct Saturn, or Mercury and Saturn, or a moon and conjunct, like they're Saturnian in their energetic field and in their ways and their personality. So the lessons of Saturn can come up as people. Like, for example, when I had Saturn transiting my first house in Scorpio a few years ago, it was like I felt like I had an invisible figure like that on my back all the time, making me feel like life is hard. And not only that, I worked at a job where that's how the environment was. Like, for me, like, that's how people reacted to me. They acted like I was some unruly child that couldn't do right, right? And always made me feel so meek and small, like, oh, like I'm constantly learning life lessons. Constantly like, you made an error, error. And I'm like, oh, okay. You got to start all over again, do it again. Oh my God, okay, I suck, I'm sorry. So yeah, Saturn's energy can play out like that at times. Now, so when it's retrograde, Saturn retrograde, that's when it's like Saturn steps in and goes back over things, goes back over the things that, the lessons that Saturn was teaching you, right? The lessons that Saturn brought you, or like maybe some skills or mastery, because Saturn is not just about lessons and pointing a finger at you. Saturn is about mastery of something. Okay, so it's trying to teach you something in life, where it's at in your birth chart or by transit. Maybe you have the hardest lessons, but the lessons turn into wisdom and knowledge. Okay, so Saturn retrograde could be a review of wisdom and knowledge that you are learning, or that you've been teaching yourself, or whatever. A review of it and going back over like those skills or that knowledge or whatever, and seeing, oh, did I miss something? What can I relearn? Or what have I kind of, where are there like holes in my, I always think of Saturn, because Saturn also rules like structures, like physical building structures and the building process of them. So I think of like a brick building when I think of Saturn. And then if there are bricks missing in the foundation, Saturn's going to go back and find those and be like, oh, we missed something here. Either we need to fill it in, and it may be difficult, or we need to tear the whole structure down and start all over again so that there's nothing missing, so that the foundation doesn't crumble and fall. Okay, so when it's retrograde, it goes back and finds those missing bricks, finds those holes to say, oh, hold up, you missed something, let's fix this, or let's tear it down and start all over, right? So that's how Saturn retrograde has been for a lot of us in all kinds of different areas of life. Yeah. So when Saturn was retrograde, that's how it was. And, you know, it could have been hard for some of us, because then we could have had things thrown back at us in our face by old dad Saturn. You missed this, you missed that. Bam, throw it at you. You know, you need to clean this up and do it properly. You know, you need to do it right. So when Saturn was stationing, like slowing down the retrograde over the last week or so, slowing down the retrograde and then sitting still. Oh my gosh, Saturn's energy is already heavy enough, but sitting still is like, oh, really intense. And that's how a lot of us have felt over the last week. It's like we already had the eclipse, right? We had the eclipse, and Saturn was part of the eclipse too, because Saturn was making a trine aspect to the eclipse. And because of that, the eclipse, the imprint of the eclipse was like Saturn was included in it. You know how the effects of the eclipse last up to 6 months? Well, it wasn't just the sun and the moon. It was also Saturn. It was also Uranus. So because of that, it was very intense. And then just after the eclipse, I mean, we're now starting to see the effects of it, but also Saturn moving direct. It's all tied together, guys. It really is. So yeah, it's all tied together. Sitting still was heavy. I had a few people close to me have these breaking points over this last week, to where something snapped in their lives and they're like, I can't take this anymore, or they had to change something, or something just snapped in their lives. Like yesterday, I had a friend call me and she called me frantically because she had just gotten fired from her job, which was my former job. And this was one person that I could actually bond with at the job, because we had this like similar struggles and similar interests and personality, whatever. But so she was like a friend. She called me, oh my God, I just got fired today, but you know what, whatever. And it was so much pressure on her, right? A lot of pressure. So that happened yesterday with Saturn sitting direct. And guess what? Both of her bosses, which used to be my bosses too, are Capricorns, Saturnian people. They were putting that pressure on her. Then there was that boom, breaking point. Okay, guess what? Now you're fired. And she was like, you know what? I'm so relieved that I was let go, because it was too much pressure. The whole thing of working there was too much. So now it's like, a relief, a release. Yeah, so I've had a few people close to me have, you know, some other things that happened to them that were just another like reflection of the Saturnian slowing down, sitting there heavy type of energy. And then now it's moving direct as of today, as of August 26th. So happy. Oh my gosh. So I will be going over every sign, how Saturn direct is going to, what's going to start progressing for you. Saturn is going to be in Sagittarius and moving direct in Sagittarius until it finishes its run, which is in December. I think around Christmas time is when it shifts into Capricorn. Woo! And boy, do we have some things to talk about when Saturn shifts into Capricorn. Wow, wow. It's gonna be a little different, but it could be good or bad depending upon you and your chart. But just this from now on, from now going forward, for 4 months, we're going to have this last window of Saturn in Sagittarius until another 27, 28 years from now, approximately. So, yeah, so how is this going to be affecting us by sign? I will definitely let you know. And I'm going to combine that with also every sign, letting you guys know how Venus in Leo is going to affect you over the next month, okay? So Venus in Leo, wow. Venus in Leo, so Venus's energy is beauty and it's enjoyment of life. It's whatever pleases the five senses. It is relationships too, relating one-on-one to other people. It's feminine energy. It's, yeah, relating to and embracing feminine. And it's just enjoyment of stuff. It's usually very beautiful, pleasant energy wherever she travels. However, the downside to Venus is she could be quite indulgent, quite an indulgent energy, okay? So Venus being in Leo, Leo energy is regal, and it's ruled by the sun. So what does the sun do? It likes to shine and it likes to sparkle. So hello, your inner sparkle. Hello, Venus in Leo. Let's get with it, guys. So wherever Venus in Leo is, wherever Leo is in your chart, Venus is going to highlight and light up that area, okay? And going to make it more pleasant or more indulgent or both, depending upon how you choose to react to the energy, of course. Venus and Leo in general, how may we see it as a collective? Well, I mean, we always see, if you're the type of person that pays attention to the stuff, there's always celebrated people like in the spotlight, okay? Always, constantly, consistently, AKA celebrities celebrate, okay? And also like beauty and glamour and fashion and all that stuff. How we may see it is maybe see more like of the sparkle, of gold, of like the glow, like people wanting to achieve that glow, like J-Lo, okay? Like she is the ultimate Leo, ultimate. Like she had a perfume called Glow. She always, like before wearing highlighter and all that stuff was like really, really popular, she was always like a glowing Leo goddess, like bronze and just like the sun, right? So we may see more of that fashion and wanting to look like that as a collective. We may see more people express that Leo energy. Now, Venus and Leo, Leo is also very affectionate energy. So yeah, it's about being more affectionate. Leo rules the heart. That's the part of the body that Leo rules. So being more in touch with your heart's desires. And Leo is a fire energy, and fire and desire, I mean, they rhyme with each other, okay, number one. Number two, fire energy when paired with desire is really going after what you desire. Like Leo energy and along with the fellow other fire signs, they don't sit around when it comes to what they want. They go after that. They go after it. And then people who sit and ponder and, well, I don't know, and I kind of want this, or they just talk about what they want, but they don't go after it. Leo energy doesn't understand, like, why don't you just go get it? You know, because they have the confidence to just go get it, okay? So this is what we may be feeling as a collective as far as going after what we want when Venus is in Leo. What does your heart desire? What do you want? It doesn't always have to be love and affection. It could be anything. Venus rules also money and material stuff. So what is it that you desire out of those things? Do you desire to get paid more money? And I always say a Leo saying or mantra is I deserve, okay? I deserve. And why? Because I have a lot of Leos close to me, mainly Leo women. And that's something that I've noticed a common pattern or trend with them is they always use that term, I deserve. Like one of my best friends is a moon in Leo. And when we both used to be single together many years ago and dating, I would always ask, like, okay, you and I are very similar. How are you getting these men to take you out to all these nice restaurants and buy you this? Oh, yeah, this guy bought me this guy bought me that. He paid for this. He paid my bill. And I didn't attract that. It was mostly like guys that wanted just Netflix and chill. Well, Netflix wasn't around back then because I'm a little old. But it was like, let's watch some DVDs and chill. You want to come chill at my house? You want to go chill with me and my friends? And I'm a very chill person. I don't mind that. But it was like mind-boggling to me. How is my moon and Leo friend? And I finally asked her. I said, just be real with me, girlfriend, okay? How are you getting these guys to do this and do that for you? You know what she said? I tell them straight up, I deserve I deserve to be taken out. I deserve to be taken to nice places. I deserve nice things. And then they just give them to me. And I was like, interesting thoughts. I have, like I said, I have a touch of Leo energy within me, but not full on Leo like that, to where I was like, I don't get it. I don't get the whole Leo thing with the I deserve. How are you getting that? Because her Leo energy was like being like shining and radiating and expressing what she wants, you know? So anyhow, yeah, that's how she was getting it. So with Venus and Leo, as far as what we want and we desire and what we feel we deserve, we may be going after it just a little bit more, okay? A little bit more passionately. Sally says deserve is a bad word. Yeah, I guess, you know, I don't know if you think of it that way. Yeah, so that's just how I have viewed, and it wasn't just her. I asked her to tell me that, but then the other Leo women that I know, they always say that I deserve it. You know, they just say it all the time. So yeah, going after what you feel you deserve, but of course not going overboard with that though. Okay, I always say that. Not going overboard with the I deserve and like being demanding and stomping your foot down and like, you know, when you really haven't done anything to earn it. You know what I mean? Leo energy on the negative side, it can like just expect things from people, even when they haven't done anything to earn. Like, oh, well, I'm just me and I'm here sitting cute and pretty and that's why you should just give me things. Like, excuse me, what? Like, what did you do for this other person? They're probably like, what have you done for me lately? Okay. So, because of that, yeah, Leo energy can get go a little overboard with that stuff. But if you aren't usually the type that goes after what you want, what you desire, what you feel you deserve, what you actually truly, really do deserve, this energy may give you a boost. Okay. May give you a little boost. So anyhow, that's Venus in Leo, and that's Saturn moving direct. I'll go through all the signs in a second for both of those. So on the 27th, which is tomorrow as I'm filming this, we have Mars conjunct the North Node in Leo. We've got all this Leo stuff popping up. I mean, we already have, like, the sun moved into Virgo last week. So we are in Virgo season. There's a lot of posts and, you know, everybody's like, Virgo season, Virgo, Virgo, Virgo. But guess what? Only the sun and Mercury are in Virgo. And the sun's going to go back. I mean, Mercury's going to go back into Leo next week too. But then there's Venus in Leo, Mars still in Leo, Mercury's going to go back into Leo. So there's still some Leo stuff hanging on. Okay. So anyhow, Mars is conjunct the North Node. So Mars is in Leo is like the real deal going after what you really desire, because Mars is action. Venus in Leo, Venus can sit there and, you know, she may go after things, but she wants things to come to her, you know, like, oh, I'm just going to sit here and look glamorous and, well, things should just come to me. But Mars is like, that's what I want. Bam. I'm going to take the action to go get it, like, for real. So because of that, Mars conjunct the North Node, and the North Node, it represents like our karmic destiny in a way. So what we feel like is our karmic destiny, wherever like Leo, this North Node in Leo is transiting in our own signs right now, I mean in our own charts right now, this is what we are kind of obsessing over in a way, you know? So for example, if you're an Aries, the North Node in Leo is in your 5th house. So you could be really questing after and obsessing over and putting a lot of emphasis on 5th house things, children, romance, creative projects. So with Mars coming into a conjunction of that, it's putting those things into action, okay? So a lot of us are going to be feeling that with the North Node and Mars conjunction. It's building up, but on the 27th is when it's exact. So yeah, I can see that. I can feel that personally. Let me know if you guys are feeling that too, wherever it is in your chart. And if you're like, you know, like really going after what it is that you've like been questing for, you know what I mean? So sorry, I'm like trying to read the chat and talk at the same time. That doesn't always work for me very well. But I know for me, the North Node in Leo is in my 10th house of career. So Mars in a conjunction, I'm like, hey, I'm serious about my business, okay? Serious about making some huge leaps. I really want to, you know? So where is it for you guys? How are you feeling that? So yeah, it's going to really be affecting you so much more around the 27th, exactly on the 27th. But still the next week, you're really going to be feeling that. Now on the 31st, Mercury goes retrograde back into the sign of Leo. So this is the thing. It's going to go retrograde and back into 29 degrees of Leo. And I'm only covering up to September 1st. But it's going to eventually hit the same point as the eclipse. The solar eclipse was at 28 degrees of Leo. And then Mercury is going to go retrograde. That means it's going backwards into Leo. It's going to hit 28 degrees of Leo. So whatever the eclipse was meant to bring forth to you, Mercury retrograde is going to address it, readdress it, or bring it out even more. Okay, so that is next week. When it goes back into Leo, wherever Leo is in your chart, there's going to be some, not just issues or concerns, or just an emphasis on that area of life once again when it comes to mercurial matters. So mercurial matters are involving communication and speech, and anything that you do with your hands, any skills that you have. So yeah, we're going to be re-evaluating those things. Like for example, if you're a Scorpio rising like I am, it's reevaluating and maybe reorganizing some things when it comes to career. If you're a Pisces rising, you know, this is when it comes to jobs. So maybe you guys may have like some job opportunity that you thought was missed, maybe during Mercury retrograde, and you know, previously you like didn't see an email or something, but now it's like, okay, this is coming up again. I'm finally seeing the email. Or I thought I bombed that interview, but guess what? Now these people are calling me back for this job, you know? So that's just an example of how Mercury retrograde, it's going to be readdressing mercurial matters wherever Leo is for you in your chart. So, woo, yeah, lots of Leo stuff still happening. So that's why it's important to know your natal chart, of course. The ascendant as well as the sun is important too. So now I'm going to go through the signs, all the signs, to talk about how Venus in Leo and Saturn direct are affecting all of you guys. Then we'll get into some coffee talk. Okay? Okay. So first, let's talk about Saturn direct for Aries. Aries, sun, moon, or ascendant sign. Saturn is moving direct in your 9th house. So the 9th house, it deals with traveling, any foreign matters. Foreign matters can mean foreign documents, passports, visas, the allowance into another country, things like that. Connection to foreign cultures, for example. So also it is your education too. Furthering your education either by going to some sort of institution, a school or whatever, or working underneath someone who's in a high position, lots of wisdom and knowledge that can teach you something. So Saturn moving direct is now progressing things ahead. If you had any delays, Aries, over the last few months when it comes to your education, maybe something got screwed up or messed up with you being enrolled in school, or with your classes, maybe something went wrong, or with you being able to travel to foreign lands, to different areas. Now things can start moving ahead, start moving along. And once again, the eclipse did have an effect, did have an imprint and, energy exchange with Saturn too. So, this is going along with that. We're going to start seeing things move ahead, okay, and progress there. So yeah, maybe you guys can, if you wanted to travel and you were blocked in any way, now you can proceed. Schooling and all that stuff. And also Saturn in the ninth. The ninth house is also your sense of optimism and faith. So that means like faith in the fact that everything will be okay. The ability to feel grateful for things is also the ninth house, what I'm finding. Excuse me. So, okay. Sorry, I was looking at the chat really quick. But yeah, so for Aries people, maybe you can start progressing ahead with that and start looking. When Saturn's energy is very heavy, maybe some of you Aries have had trouble having like that happy-go-lucky, optimistic outlook on life and belief that everything will be okay, So maybe you guys can now start. Saturn is going to help you to start working on that now, okay? Because Saturn is about work. It's not always about restricting you. It's about what you need to work on. So if any Aries people really need to work on your sense of faith and, optimism and stuff, then, that can, now it can start proceeding forward. So yeah, awesome stuff for you guys. Okay, so now on to Venus and Leo for Aries people. How is it going to affect you guys? So Venus moving into your 5th house in Leo. Oh my gosh, this is some fun. This is some big time fun for Aries. I'm so envious of you guys with Venus in your 5th house. Ooh, because this is a house of dating. This is a house of dating, casual dating. Or if you are seriously dating, it's like that honeymoon stuff, or okay, like having that feeling all over again, being energized when it comes to love, when it comes to enjoyment. So yeah, you guys can have a boost in that area, have your love life be on and popping, okay? But also it's children, so maybe your relationships with your children can improve. You can start doing some more fun activities with your kids. Or if you don't have kids, you'll feel like a kid again, like wanting to have fun like a kid. Wanting to go to places that normally are a little like young for you, but you're like, screw it, who cares? I want to have a good time. I'm going to go play paintball, I'm going to go to this carnival and go on all the rides and eat a bunch of cotton candy and stuff. I just feel like doing that. So that's how you guys are going to be expressing yourselves. And it's going to be a beautiful thing, a fun time for Aries people. And also the 5th house is creativity and hobbies, like creative hobbies. So you guys may want to feel even more like getting back into a creative hobby, and you may have more successes there too. Your 5th house has been lit up also by Mars, by the sun formally, by the eclipses and Mercury and stuff. So some of you Aries may have already been initiating that, getting back into fun hobbies and creative talents and expressing them. But Venus there can bring you a little bit more of an energy that works well for you to where you may see some more success. So good luck, Aries. Yes, Marina says, go catch you a boo. Yes, go catch you a boo, Aries people. Yes. All right, so now on to Taurus. Taurus, how is Saturn moving direct going to affect Taurus sun, moon, or ascendant people? So Saturn's moving direct in your 8th house, Taurus. This is a really serious area of life. So Saturn in the 8th house. Now, this is working on things like intimacy, number 1. So some Tauruses could have felt blocked there. And this is also the house of maybe debt, like other people owing you or you owe. It's like borrowing money, to put it like in a more simple, practical way. Borrowing money, okay? Like loans that you take out from like the bank or the government, not the government. Government doesn't loan you money. Banks, credit cards, that type of thing. Loans, okay? Or borrowing money from other people. Or them borrowing from you. That as well. So you guys could have had some blocks there, some like roadblocks to where like some obstacles. There you go. Some obstacles, Tauruses, you could have had when it comes to joint financial ventures, joint finances with a partner, a business partner, a romantic partner, marriage partner, whatever. You guys could have been blocked there. Or like if you wanted to earn any type of income, Taurus, that's not like just from a job, you want to do something to where you can kick back and collect checks. You know what? For some people, that lifestyle works for them, okay? Like they can just do that. Some Tauruses are like, I need a break and I just want to be able to collect money doing very little. So if some of you guys have been blocked there, no, maybe Saturn can help you work on a way to bring that to you. And guys, that doesn't always mean just being lazy. That means you can create something, or you can put something out there that's already done, completed. You did the work, it's done, and then it's just generating money, generating income. There's a lot of people that make good money that way. For example, people who are on YouTube, okay, like YouTubers. And I always talk about YouTubers, right? Because instead of TV, I'm a huge YouTube fan. I watch more YouTube than I watch TV, movies, any of that. And I see these people and their business strategies and how they are able to make money off of a platform like this. So they do all the work, they put the video out there, and then they just generate money, and then money comes in. That stuff is also ruled by the 8th house, guys. It can be. So stuff like that, yes. Somebody said, Brother Jerry says, work smarter, not harder. Stuff like that, to where you can just have money come in. Maybe some Tauruses have been wanting to achieve something like that, but they've had blocks and obstacles, but now they could be released. So also this is the house of joints, assets. Okay, so some Tauruses have been going through stuff like divorce, having to separate their assets between themselves and another people, or custody of children or animals, or you know, possession of certain material things that they had with another person, having to work that out. You know, so Saturn moving retrograde could have been really annoying with that process, but now it's moving forward. It's like, let's get back to work. Let's get all this stuff worked out, cleared out, Taurus, so you can move on with your life, okay? And then with intimacy blocks, you know, now you guys can work on intimacy if this applies to you, Tauruses, to where maybe you have been, you know, not doing so well in that department, like if you're with another person, like a partner. Now you guys can start working on that together, maybe talking about it, talking it out with your partner, instead of feeling like, oh, we're so slacking and lacking in this area, and then getting a divorce. Maybe now you can talk it out. Say, you know what, this is what we need to do to get that spark back. Because also next month in September, we're going to have Virgo season, which is going to light up your 5th house, Taurus, and that's going to be getting that romance back. So just keep that in mind when you think about Saturn direct. Okay, so now on to Venus and Leo for Taurus, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people. This is in your 4th house. Oh, the 4th house. This is family. This is being at home, being a homebody and enjoying it. This is all about connecting with people on a personal level, very personal level. You know, people that you really, really trust. And AKA, for a lot of people, that's family. For some people, that is people that you feel a connection to that's very homey. Homies, okay, you're homies, okay. But you know, it's like being with those people feels like home. Like, you know what I mean? That's what the 4th house can be too. So enjoyment of time, more time with those people, people that you adore, that you trust. Spending more time cooking. Okay, a lot of Tauruses are already fantastic cooks and foodies. Venus in the 4th transit is going to make you bring that out of you even more, pretty much. So if you're a Taurus that's trying to watch your diet, Venus in the 4th may make it a little difficult, but it is very enjoyable when it comes to things like food. Food is a sense of nourishment, but also nurturing, which the 4th house rules. Having better relationships with female relatives or feminine relatives, whatever, is also Venus in the 4th house, you know. So enjoy that time. Enjoy that time with family. Have fun being a homebody, you know, just chilling or whatever with your people that you like. So now for Gemini people, Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant. Sorry, tongue-tied, of course, because I'm talking about Gemini and Mercury's retrograde. Hold on. Okay, so Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant. Saturn moving direct in your 7th house of relationships. OMG. I think I've probably told you guys before, I have a lot of Geminis close to me too. A lot of Geminis. Gemini risings, several, very close. Sister, someone who's like a sister, a few other people. And it has been tough in the relationship department. It really has. And I really feel for you guys. Although, you know, Saturn is about lessons, and some of you guys have had to learn some lessons about relationships. And Saturn opposing you, you know, it's been tough overall, not just for relationships, but Saturn in opposition to you as a Gemini. Oh my gosh, you know, Saturn's energy can be pretty tough, can be always challenging you and bringing that in the form of other people, not just a partner that you're married to or dating, but other people could have been challenging you in opposition, Gemini people. So you guys have really had to have a battle of wits, which you're usually pretty good at, with so many more people with Saturn and Sag. Whew, let me tell you, I hear you guys. I hear you guys all the time. But now it's moving direct. So this could be just improving upon your relations with others, okay? That can mean, yeah, in a marriage, in a committed bond, in a committed partnership. Yeah, it could be improving on that now. Instead of fighting, instead of just using your words to fight, which a lot of you guys can do a lot of times. I always call Geminis like Tasmanian devils. You guys really are. You move fast, you talk fast, and you can be like, blah, 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 like just spit out some really like mean stuff, you know, and really get to somebody if you really wanted to. So now is like the time where maybe that can ease up and you don't really have to have too much of a battle like that. And now you learn how to really get along with people so much better. And then, yeah, maybe having something solid in your relationship department now. You know, if you didn't already, maybe it's finally about that time, Geminis, to say, you know what, I really do want to take a step and be committed and married and be with only this one person. Okay, be with this one person now and commit to them. Or in a business partnership, maybe some of you guys have been really wanting to collaborate with other people in a business sense too, but Saturn's energy has been very blocking, making it difficult. Now it's time to move forward. Time to move forward with that. So yes, with business, with relationships with others, others challenging you. I know you guys are tired of it. It's about to ease up. So fear not, Geminis. It's awesome, awesome. Oh, I hear you, Magic Blubber, and I'm going to get to your sign. Woo, you guys, Sages, oh my gosh, have it like the worst. So now, on to Venus and Leo for Gemini people. This is a really fun transit for you guys too, because Geminis, Venus and Leo for Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Rising, it's in your third house. So the third house is the Gemini house. Gemini is the third sign in the zodiac, so the third house is you. It's more of you, increasing more of your native energy that you are by nature like so used to exuding and expressing. So when it comes to love, when it comes to enjoyment, it's all going to be bouncy, fun, you know. So Saturn easing up off of you, and now this, hey, this is a really good time for Gemini people. Just based on these two transits, at least, okay? So, yes, Geminis, fun, flirtation. But how I can see these two combos getting you in trouble, though, Gemini, is, you know, Saturn moving direct in your seventh house, that's lessons. Venus in the third house, that's being super flirty, including with strangers, okay? And I know Gemini just love to talk and talk and talk. Doesn't matter who you are. And you guys can be like, yes, honey, okay. Yes, hun. Yes, gorgeous. Yes, beautiful. Yes, handsome. Even to people you don't even really know. Just because you love to express yourself like that and just like have an exchange between yourself and another person. But don't let it get you in trouble and let that Saturn in the seventh cause a breakup or something, okay? Or you guys to really, you know, your partner not really feel that, you know. But yes, fun though. Fun. And the third house is getting around, out and about. It's staying busy, being a busybody. So this is like really staying busy with having fun. Pretty much plain and simple, okay? The Leo energy is so warming right now. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. What is this in the live chat? Okay. To you guys that are sending some funds or something. Oh, thank you. I'm not really sure how that works, I'll have to ask Lada, but we appreciate it though. So, but yes, we appreciate it. Thank you. I'll check it out and see how exactly that stuff works. From what I understand, during live chats, that means that someone gets a question answered or something. I don't know. I don't know how that works. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'll have to check it out and see. But yes, bouncy fun for Geminis. All right. So now on to Cancer. Cancer, sun, moon, or ascendant. Okay. So Cancer, Saturn moving direct is in your 6th house. This is really important. Really. Oh, and thank you so much, Oche. I see you. I see you, my friend. So this is Cancers. I know a lot of you guys too, okay? Very closely. And Saturn in your 6th house, the areas that it could have been giving you guys challenges and maybe some grief and been on your butt is in regards to work and in regards to your health. And some of you guys, like, for example, you know, my husband's a Cancer sun. And there are some changes in diet and health and stuff that he's now pondering more and more open to, when before he was like, you know, Cancers, you guys love your food, just like we Tauruses. You guys love your food. Food is a sense of nurturing, a sense of comfort and security and just really good feelings, you know, especially for Cancer people. So because of that, it's hard for a lot of Cancers to stick to diets and stuff, you know, and to stick to like very strict ones and let go of the very things that bring them so much comfort and joy. It's very hard. But Saturn retrograde could have been showing you guys the areas that you need to work on. Like, okay, you need to consider this, Cancer. Consider letting go of this type of food, that type of food out of your diet, so that you don't feel like crap and feel sluggish, you know? So now with Saturn moving direct, the holes have been found. Now it's time to rebuild the foundation or fill them in regards to what can you do to improve your health? What can you do to improve your diet? What can you do to exercise better and all that stuff? So, yeah. Jane says her ex-Cancer loved her cooking. No more for him. Aw. Well, if it's going to help them out with some changes that can keep them here longer, maybe that won't be such a bad thing, Jane. Maybe it won't be. But also with work, a lot of Cancers, maybe you guys had a lot of pressure on you with work. Oh, and as a matter of fact, the friend that contacted me yesterday and told me that she got fired, she's a Cancer. I just remembered she's a Cancer sun. So Saturn moving direct and sitting there stationed was in her 6th house of work, and then she got fired. Now it's time to move forward, and maybe now she can find herself a better job. So if that's happened to any of you other Cancers out there, best of luck to you. Maybe you guys can find a better job that suits you, a job that'll appreciate you, because I know Cancers, and you guys are big givers. You guys give a lot. You guys can give a lot of yourself, even at work, and be like, no, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it. You'll do things for other people voluntarily. Sorry about that, Mercury retro. You will volunteer yourself a lot, give yourself a lot. And sometimes people can take advantage of that and be like, oh, Cancer will do it for us, you know? So therefore, you guys could start feeling like unappreciated, like underappreciated, and start to look like, wait a second, you know what? I don't think this company appreciates me and all my efforts. So maybe I should take myself elsewhere where I will be appreciated and celebrated. Or a lot of Cancers with Saturn in your 6th have had a strict boss. Ooh, that applies to my friend. Strict bosses on your behind. And maybe now it's time to move forward and see, you know what? Maybe some of the things that they were on me about are some things that I really do need to improve on to be a better employee. So you can start moving forward with that and learning. Okay, so that's Saturn moving direct for you Cancer people. So good luck with health and job, okay? So now with Venus and Leo for Cancers, this is in your 2nd house. So, wow, this is awesome. This is awesome. So maybe some of you Cancers with the Saturn moving direct can have something great happen or some change happen when it comes to your work, improvement in the work environment. And as a result of that, Venus being material things, being money, things that are pleasant and enjoyable, moving into your second house of money and resources and finances. Maybe you guys can get an increase. Maybe you guys can get a raise. The eclipse was telling you guys that too, that you are worth a lot, okay? You are a person that's worthy of certain things, you know, of whatever it is that you put out there. You're worthy of getting a return. So maybe that eclipse set that off. And now Venus moving into Leo, maybe you guys can proceed with things like asking for a raise, finding a better paying job, things like that. So yeah, good luck to you, Cancer people. That's awesome. Okay, now on to Leo. Leo, sun, moon, and ascendant. How is Saturn moving direct in Sagittarius affecting you guys? So this is happening in your 5th house. This is the Leo house. Wow, so Saturn sitting in your 5th house for Leo people, especially when it was sitting there stationed just heavy, right? This is the Leo house. Leo, you're the 5th sign on the wheel, and then 5th house stuff is you. It's your Leo-ness, you know? So maybe some of you guys, since Saturn's been in Sag, you've been challenged when it comes to Leo stuff, okay? Maybe you guys have had issues with your children giving you a hard time, or maybe some of you have had a hard time actually conceiving children, for example. Or maybe some of you guys have felt blocked when it comes to your creativity and your self-expression and just feeling the freedom to express yourself, you know? Maybe Saturn has told you no. Maybe some of you guys have had to work on some Leo stuff when it comes to, you know, on a negative side, Leos, you guys can be very, what's the word I'm looking for? I know, I got to be careful with words because everybody out there is so sensitive and easily offended. But just keeping it real, Leos, like I mentioned earlier when I talked about Venus and Leo in general, a lot of Leo people can just want things to come to them without even doing anything to earn that, to, you know, it's just like, I am here and I just want people to give me things or do things for me just because I'm me. Why should I have to explain myself? Why should I have to put any work in? It's just me and I'm here. I'm VIP. I shouldn't have to wait in line. I shouldn't have to be patient. Why is this taking so long? I'm Leo. Don't you know that I'm supposed to be first? Those type of things are on the more negative side of Leo. So Saturn in your 5th house of Leo stuff, a lot of Leos have had to learn some hard lessons, and Saturn may have people, excuse me, come into your lives to tell you guys, no, you do actually have to be patient and wait sometimes, okay? Or, excuse me, or no, Leo, you don't always just get everything you want just because you feel you deserve it, but you haven't done anything to really deserve it, you know? So now it's time to move forward with those lessons. Excuse me. Oh my gosh. Just a second, guys. I'm sorry. Vicky's saying that sounds like her Leo ex. Yes. Oh, and someone says she's a Leo rising, or she's a Leo rising and thinks she's VIP. She has a Cap sun and Saturn constantly kicks her butt. Yeah, Saturn will knock you down and remind you guys you do actually have to work hard for things. You know, they don't just always come to you. I have arrived. Yes. Leos crack me up with that stuff. But some of you guys, some Leos have a hard time with learning that they do have to earn things. So Saturn is now moving direct with that, helping you out with those lessons. And if you've been blocked with any Leo things, like I said, expression of yourself, or you want to do creative stuff. And, you know, I know a Leo rising. And Saturn in his 5th house right now has been teaching him to take his creative hobbies and skills and turn them into a business. So now with Saturn moving direct, he's really on it. I mean, he's doing a really good job getting models. He makes clothing, getting models to take pictures of his clothing, getting professional photography done, like taking it seriously. So now it's time, Leo, to take that stuff seriously. A lot of Leos are very talented in creative things. So yeah, Saturn is telling you, look, it's time to get serious with it. It's not just a hobby. You're not just going to get recognition just because. You have to put in the work. And if you put in the work, Leo, Saturn's like, I'm going to reward you now. So let's get it going. Let's get to work. So Venus in Leo for Leo people, Leo sun, moon, and ascendant people. So Venus, Leo, I mean, just to put it basically, you're just going to be unleashing your inner sparkle, Leo people. Just really wanting to glow even more than usual. Okay, I know you guys are always glowing, but you're going to be stepping up the glow. Okay, glowing up, as they say, like some sort of popular term now. You're going to glow up, hunty. Okay, so Leo people, it's really time for you to do that. So you guys will really be feeling good enough to go get your hair done, get something done to your appearance, although Mercury's still retrograde, so maybe wait until after that to do anything major that involves skills of the hands, touching any of your body, you know, to do something major with your appearance. But you guys will be craving just being more admired, being recognized and seen as a beautiful person, as a pleasant person. So whatever you have to do to make that happen, whatever that means for you. Not everyone wears makeup or cares about their hair or their clothes. It could be just an internal thing. Whatever you want to express and exude out there to the world that's pleasant, you're going to be able to tap into that so much more, Leo people. And as a result of that, this is one of those transits where maybe you don't have to do much, Leo, and people are going to flock to you and be attracted to you and towards you and giving you positive attention just for being you. And you can be like, yes, thank you. Yeah, I know I'm Leo, yes. So Venus in Leo is going to be a really, really good transit for you guys. So use it to your best, okay? Now, time for Virgo. Virgo, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people. When it comes to Saturn moving direct, this is happening in your 4th house. So this is not as fun. Actually, Saturn's energy is never really that fun, to be honest. Virgo, Saturn in your 4th house. For a lot of Virgos, I have seen it play out as difficulty in family situations. Yes, just being honest. When it comes to maybe having more responsibility over family, like you have to take care of elderly family members, maybe there's a lot just going on in your family and you have to be one of those people that step up to the plate and say, okay, especially because Virgos, you guys are really good at organization and implementing systems and things that work and that make things efficient and just flow nicely, you know, systematically. So you guys are good at that. So some Virgos have had to be that one to step up in the family and say, look, this family is like a mess, okay? What are we going to do about this? Does anybody else see what I see? And you guys have had to be the ones to really work on that with family. Maybe take over properties too, because the 4th house can also rule homes and properties. So I've seen some Virgos over the last couple of years actually have to do that. My mom is a Virgo. She had to take over a property for her uncle, my great uncle, because he was disabled. She had to move in with him, take care of him, and then he passed away, unfortunately, because he had a lot of health problems. And then she had to take over his home, the selling of his home, his belongings, like a lot of responsibility, pretty much. I know another Virgo who his son started getting into a lot of trouble, getting into drugs, and he had to take over some of his son's responsibilities, and he actually took his son into his home and had to try to help him to clean up. Virgos, you guys are all about the cleanup, right? And he had to help him to try to clean up, and it was so much responsibility over him. And this is his adult son. Like, this dude is like 30 or 40 something, right? But he had to take over all that responsibility, this Virgo guy. So then it kind of made it difficult for the family, pretty much. So Saturn has been maybe bringing some of that to you Virgo people. Or maybe some of you guys, in a positive light, have wanted to finally get your own home. Get your own home. Maybe you live with family, or maybe you want to own a house, to build a house, okay? So some of you guys, now you can proceed with that. You can proceed with helping the family to work things out, to get themselves in order. You can implement more structure into the family, into your existing home, or you guys can move forward with getting a home built, being in the process of buying a house, you know, all of that stuff. Now, maybe some of you guys are blocked. Like, you want to buy a house, and then there's a back and forth, like someone selling it, and then they take it off the market, or whatever happens with that stuff, okay? Now it's time to move forward with that, and maybe you guys can finally, you know, have that home that you really, really want. And that cannot mean just like, you know, also the feeling of home. The feeling of comfort, like going home to your house and just feeling comfortable there. Some of you Virgos may have had issues with that over the last few years, but now it's like, you know, now it's time to proceed, keep things moving, keep them working, and so on. And just, yeah, the family and home department, Virgo, best of luck to you guys with that. Now Saturn's going to make some things happen, so let's get it going. Now for Venus and Leo, for Virgo people, this is in your 12th house. So for this transit of Venus in your 12th, so this is being a little more low-key, okay? And with Saturn, you know, in your 4th going forward, maybe it's like you really have some responsibilities to work on. You really want to, you know, work on home and home life and stuff. So you're not really like, woo, let's go out, let's have fun. It's more like, let me stay home and let me try to beautify my environment. Let me try to feel more comfortable energetically and spiritually as well as physically too. Because the 12th house, it does rule that, like your spirit and your soul, like the health of it, okay? And also the 12th house is the dreams that you have at night. So maybe you guys have more pleasant dreams at night that give you messages, you know, that are very important in regards to your mental and emotional and spiritual well-being. Maybe you guys can take up some things like, I just glanced at the chat, I saw the word yoga. Yeah, maybe some of you guys can take up some stuff like yoga or something that's very calming to the soul, to the body, and just really like tuning out the world and tuning into a higher source of energy and really allowing that to come through you, Virgo, because I know Virgos, and you guys are very nervy people. You guys can always be constantly worrying. You see that there's things that need to be fixed and stuff like that. And that can really get you always, like, you guys always feel like you have to be serving a purpose and doing something, right? Venus transiting your 12th house can help you to woosah, my Virgo friends. Just come together within yourself, chill, relax, be in tune with yourself. And that can help with the rest of your life too. This is also a house of being charitable, and Virgos can be very charitable people too, okay? So this is going to increase and enhance that, your charitability, your compassion for other people. And as far as enjoyment, yeah, just enjoyment at home, a lot more at home or in more like isolation, seclusion, not really with a lot of people, not really out in public, you know, just chilling at home and maybe watching some movies, watching TV, anything you can do to escape reality in a healthy way, listening to music, getting in tune with art, all that good stuff. So yeah, enjoy that, Virgo people. So now on to Libra. Libra, sun, moon, or ascendant people, how is Saturn direct affecting you guys? So this is in your 3rd house for Libra people. This is the house of your mind and your education and communicating with people. So Saturn could have been bringing you guys some challenges there. Libras are usually Libras, generally speaking, about Libra energy in itself is very social. Libras are usually pretty social people, and you guys, I'm pretty sure it could be very frustrating for Libra people when you feel like you can't properly communicate with others, or others are like not understanding you, or maybe they're taking you way too seriously. And Libra energy is very lighthearted. You guys love to have just like one-on-one exchanges, conversations with people, and them to be pleasant and fun. But with Saturn sitting in your house of how you communicate and how you think too, maybe a lot of you guys, it's been more easier to be pessimistic, go into a pessimistic mode, and maybe that comes out in how you communicate, how you speak, how you text and write and email and all that stuff. So for you guys, for Libras, this could have been a challenge for you over the last couple of years. And now this is the last run of Saturn in your 3rd for another 28 years. So now it's time to work on those things, work on communication, okay? So either some Libras, because you guys are about the scales, maybe the scales can be off balance. Maybe you're a little too agreeable and too pleasant to where people are like, yo, this person's fake. I don't know if I can believe what they say. I don't know if they really agree with me, or they're just like, yeah. Like, I don't know if they're being real. Or you guys could have been on the other side of the scales, unbalanced, to where it's like you're a little bit too heavy and, like I said earlier, pessimistic or something, you know? So you're offending people, or, you know, and that's Libras offending people, oh my gosh, you guys are all about being proper and agreeable and pleasant. So when you offend people, it's like, oh, I offended someone. Oh, you know, unless you have Mercury in Scorpio or Sag, then you're a Leo that does not care. I mean, a Libra that doesn't care. But just Libra energy in general, working on the communication stuff. Yes, working on the communication stuff is going to proceed for you guys. Maybe some Libras have had car problems or issues with getting around, traveling and stuff. That's also Saturn in the third house. But now it's time to proceed. Maybe now you guys can get that car fixed. You can get a new car. You can find a new way to travel around in your city or whatever. And no more blockages. Woo, no more blockages for another 28 years. Yes, you're right. Whoever said that in the chat. So now on to Libra for Venus and Leo. For Libra, this is in your 11th house. This is in your 11th house, which is friends and groups. So yeah, you guys, your air houses are definitely being hit, but in a more positive way now, okay? So the air houses are all about communication. You guys are an air sign, so this is like your dealings with others pretty much. So there could have been difficulties there, but now with Venus in the 11th house, oh my gosh. Libras, this is a really good time for you guys to get out and socialize, to network with other people, and to collaborate with other people, which you guys usually love to do. So especially if you're a Libra who's on the internet in any kind of way, you're on an internet platform, or you belong to like a social group in person, in IRL, in real life, and maybe just like, it can even just be your groups of friends. It doesn't have to be some society or anything like that. It can be just your friends, the like-minded people that you have, your fellow aliens, your tribe, those people. So Venus in that house, it's time to get out, to socialize, to be seen in a positive light, dress nice. You'll get the attention from other people with them, hey, Libra, and wanting to talk to you, wanting to chat with you. And also some of you guys may find some lovely romantic attention if you get out and socialize, or through the internet, or being introduced to somebody by friends. Yes, so that could be really good for you Libras. But yes, if you are trying to have a presence on social media, online, you're in a networking field, for example, Libra, this can be a time where things can start proceeding, okay, and more beneficial energy for you. And you can attract more people to you, to listen to you, to watch your platform or whatever. And Saturn moving ahead in your third house. The third house is also like writing, you know, people who want to write blogs and write articles and stuff. And Saturn in the third for Libras could have been giving you guys a lot of writer's block, to where you feel like, I'm sitting here and I just can't write. I can't come up with things. And a lot of people who do write those things, either they put them out in a book, or maybe they're on the internet or something. They put out articles. So now with Venus up there in your air house, 11th house, of sharing all that stuff with people, and Saturn moving forward. So this can work out really well for you guys on the social tips. So best of luck to you Libra people. Yes, 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 yes. Oh my gosh, Sally, really? Oh my gosh. Which sign are you talking about, Sally? I'm curious. Now, on to Scorpio. Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising people. Saturn moving direct. How is it affecting you guys? This is in your second house. Okay. Second house. Wow. So this is finances. And finances are usually pretty important to Scorpios, because you guys are all about security, and you guys are another money sign, but you're the sign of money that's joint with other people, or that you receive from other people in some kind of way. So your other money house has been hit hard by Saturn. Oh my gosh. Tell me about it, Scorpios. Oh my gosh. It's been crazy, right? Over the last couple of years. Some of us Scorpios have suffered losses. Like, I know when Saturn entered Sag, my house was robbed of a lot of expensive things, and it was not it wasn't very nice. You know, it wasn't very easy to recover that stuff. Myself and my son, we, not so much anymore, but we used to DJ a lot, do gigs, and a lot of our stuff was stolen. Our music on hard drives, our computers, everything, like a lot of stuff was stolen. Gaming systems, TVs, all kinds of stuff, they just was taken. So, and I know a lot of other Scorpios who have had similar experiences, like their houses were robbed, their cars were stolen, cars robbed, all kinds of stuff. But besides that, so that's the material possessions part. When it comes to finances, a lot of Scorpios are seeing them lose jobs, over the last couple of years, or have a really hard time sustaining a source of income that's consistent, okay? That's consistent, that they actually enjoy. Maybe they've had old man Saturn on their back in the form of an employer, making them work very, very hard to earn money, which can actually be a good thing. You know, some of us Scorpios, maybe we've had Saturn on our backs to be able to come up with ways to earn money and save money that are all about longevity. Don't forget, Saturn is about longevity. He's about the long term. He's about, you got to look ahead into the future. What about your legacy? What are you going to leave behind? You can't just think about the now, and what's going on now, you know? So a lot of Scorpios have been challenged, yes, but also have been taught how better to manage their money, how to invest in things, how to save for the long term, okay? So maybe finally setting up retirement. Now you guys can proceed with this stuff, Scorpio, is what I'm getting at. So finally, setting up retirement goals, setting up savings accounts, savings goals, and all that stuff. Proceeding with maybe getting a new job that earns you money, and maybe you have to work hard, but it's not as hard as it's been previously during this transit. And you have a job to where you have more responsibility, yes, but with that comes the reward, which Saturn can reward, okay? He's not just a stubborn a-hole. He rewards those who work hard. So best of luck to you, Scorpios. I really hope finances get better and you guys are rewarded properly at the end of this transit in December, or by that time at least. So next up is Venus and Leo for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, or Rising people. Okay. This is happening in your 10th house, which is career and public image. So this can definitely go hand in hand with the Saturn moving direct on the same day, because this is a beneficial, positive energy. This is people looking at you in a positive light, Scorpios. And I know a lot of Scorpios can sometimes have issues with that, because Scorpion people are very deep, and we are very famous for having RBF, if you know what that means. Like, this is how a lot of Scorpio and Scorpio rising people look. We have this serious look, right? And people can take it the wrong way. So the image that people have of us, even publicly, can be like, oh my God, they are negative. They are too dark in their demeanor, in their expression. Sorry. Oh my gosh, stop. Sorry about that. They are to this or to that, right? You guys are not positive people. Let me tell you, the Scorpio rising, I hear that all the time, because we can be very honest and direct and just like, you know, we see right through BS. So people can, our image can be a little, not as like, hey guys, and everybody's like, I love Scorpios. Like, yeah, that's difficult for us to achieve as Scorpio people. But when Venus moves into the 10th house, this is a time where people may start seeing Scorpios like that in a more positive light. Hold on a second. On my screen, it looks like this chat is frozen. So let me know if you guys are experiencing that, or if that's just some glitch on my end, what I'm seeing. Anyhow, yes. So for Scorpio people, being seen in a more positive light, you know, and this can also help you with career. So with Saturn moving direct in your money house, this can maybe be a swell new job, and your bosses actually appreciate you. You know, they're giving you this attention. Like, hey, Scorpio, you're great. You know, of course, yeah, we'll be willing to pay you such and such a year that you're asking for. And it's like, oh my gosh, yay, I'm actually, you know, getting what I deserve to be paid in a job. And these people actually like me. They're not looking at me like I'm some scary witch or anything. So yeah, Scorpio people, being seen in a positive light. And you guys are also another sign that if you're trying to achieve things on a big social platform, for example, Venus moving into your 10th house, it really is a good time to where you can take advantage of this energy and put yourself out there more, you know, in the world, however it is that you do, even if that's social media platform or something. And maybe you'll get more, you'll get more positive feedback and positive attention from your audience. So public image and money boost, hey, that sounds like a good combo to me, right, Scorpio? All right, so now for Sagittarius, sun, moon, or ascendant sign. Sagittarius. Ooh, so Saturn moving direct in your sign. In your sign, what does it mean for you guys? Okay, so wow. Sag. Okay, Saturn in your sign has really been putting the pressure on you guys. Really putting the pressure on you guys. So this has been challenging Sagittarians to really grow up. Okay, and I know Sag energy, it can be very Peter Pan like. It doesn't always want to grow up. It wants to just play and travel and zoom around all over the place, and you just want your freedom. You want your freedom to just enjoy life. Okay, so because of that, Saturn has been sitting heavy on you guys, and maybe some of you guys have had to slow that down because you got more responsibility. Like I've seen a lot of Sag and Sag rising, Sag moon people. You guys have had more children or children for the first time and had to step into that really huge responsible role. Maybe some of you guys have got this like awesome career, but it's a lot of work and it takes up a lot of your time and you don't have that much free time anymore. Or maybe some of you guys just overall in life with Saturn in your sign, there has just been a lot of heaviness, a lot of worry, a lot more of that. But now with it moving direct, it's like learning some more. It's like the lessons that you're learning, it's like, okay, now I see them clearly and I can proceed. Maybe if I've been good, Saturn, please, can I have some playtime? Can I please get out and travel and stuff now more? Also, Saturn, when it's in your sign, that has to do with your body too, especially if it's on your sun or in your first house, your ascendant. That's your body. So some Sages, maybe you guys have had to learn a lesson about taking care of yourself. You know, you guys love your freedom. You guys like to be busy and doing a lot of different stuff. And so maybe you don't really take the time to slow down and like really take care of yourself. So maybe you've had Saturn on your back saying like, no, you really need to. And Saturn, and I mean, Sag energy, just generally speaking about the energy and the nature of Sagittarius by itself, okay, can be very indulgent. Sag is the energy ruled by Jupiter, huge planet, loves to do it big. That means overdoing things sometimes. So Sag has had to learn a lot of lessons about that. Overdoing things and keeping things to a very good controlled level to where you're still being responsible. You're not drinking as much. I have a Sag friend close to me. He used to be like the king of going out and getting drunk and making those drunk phone calls, like making up songs at 3 a.m. and all this crazy stuff, right? He has completely stopped drinking. And I'm like, who are you? Who are you? Where's my dude at that did all this crazy drunk stuff? No, he stopped drinking. I have another Sag friend, same thing. He stopped drinking. Just stopped it. So some of you guys have had to learn some lessons about overdoing it when it comes to anything that you do with your body and just yourself in general. So now it's time to proceed. The lessons maybe won't be as rough and they'll work with you a little bit more, you know, with it going forward. So anyhow, now on to Venus and Leo for Sagittarius people. So this is awesome, awesome news for you guys. This is in your 9th house, which is the Sag house, okay? Sag is the 9th sign on the wheel. So this is 9th house, which is Sag energy. So you guys get to have more fun being extra Sagittarian-like, okay? So this is maybe traveling. And, you know, with Saturn, Papa Saturn easing up on you a little bit more, maybe you can be now like, okay, now I can be free to travel. I can be free to get out and like explore the world like I like to do and, you know, just get out and do different stuff and yeah, just enjoy life. Someone says Saturn forces pessimism, slows down time, and makes you think about regret and desire. It's heavy for Sag people. Oh my gosh, you guys, I can only imagine. Can only imagine. But yeah, so Sag people, Venus and Leo will give you a lot more fun into your life. But of course, since this is in the Sag house, please try not to overdo it when it comes to the drink, the food, the spending the money and all that stuff, because Saturn is still sitting there. And even he's watching you. He's like, I allowed you to go out and play for a little bit, okay? But I'm still going to keep an eye on you and make sure that you are being responsible. So enjoy that time. Get out. Go travel. Have fun. It's going to make you also feel more of a sense of feeling like grateful for life, okay? Feeling grateful for life. Olivia's asking, will Venus and Leo bring you a love interest? What sign are you, Olivia? And I'll let you know where it is and how that's going to be affecting you. But for Sag people, as far as love, with Venus being in your 9th house, this can mean finding love when it comes to getting out there and traveling, maybe a foreign person. This transit happens once a year, though, guys. It's not like a rare one. So maybe, I don't know if every year when Venus is in Leo, you Sag people meet a foreign person and fall in love. It's possible, but yeah, it's possible, but still, yeah, this can happen this time of year too, okay? So anyhow, enjoy that transit, Sagittarius. Enjoy it to the fullest, all right? Now, on to Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. Okay, so this Saturn transit, now Saturn is your ruling planet, Capricorn, so anywhere it travels, it's really going to affect you guys, okay? So it's going to be in your 12th house moving forward now. Woo, I have some Capricorns close to me, and you know, this Saturn transit, it really hasn't been, a lot of Saturn transits really aren't that bad for Capricorns as far as my observation. If you're a Capricorn, you've been experiencing a lot of heavy, crazy stuff with Saturn transits, let me know in the chat or in the below this video in the comments once it's recorded. But from what I've observed from being very extremely close to some Capricorn people, including in my family and stuff, I've seen Saturn's energy in Capricorn, Saturn transits. You guys know how to just go with the flow of Saturn. Okay, unless you have a heavy dose of other energies in your chart that are defiant of Saturn, like maybe Sagittarius or Gemini or something that wants to bounce around more. But Capricorn itself, like, you guys can march ahead, march along. Like, wherever Saturn tells you, okay, soldier, turn this way, go that way, then it's just like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll do it. Not really resisting, okay? So you guys aren't really resistant towards Saturn's lessons as bad as other people can be. So for Capricorn, this is in your 12th house now moving forward. So Saturn in the 12th, how has it been affecting Caps, and what can you guys move forward with now? Well, it's been affecting you guys because in a way in your 12th house, which is being in isolation. And how I've seen it play out for a lot of you guys is, you know, maybe not as being as social, because when Saturn was in your 11th house before that, when it was in Scorpio, it was about learning who your real friends are, your real circle of people who support you, who are like-minded, and who your real friends are, okay? Who's really your tribe of people that you can stick to and you can trust. Friends versus acquaintances, friends versus networking people, right? And now when Saturn, and then so because of that, you guys could have been weeding out a lot of people and only like really zoning in on people that you really feel a real connection to. Then Saturn moved into your 12th house, and it's like, okay, now it's time for me to work on me. Like, I am not going to be as social. I'm really going to be focused on me and what's important to me and maybe my family, stuff like that. Just kind of doing things in your own alone time. And Saturn's energy, when I experienced Saturn in the 12th house, this was a time when I really dove into astrology even more hardcore, because Saturn is about studies too, like learning stuff. So when it's in the 12th house, this is you isolating yourself from the world and really zoning in on something to learn, to study. This can also be you working on your own like karmic lessons in life too. I think that's probably where it's affected Capricorn so the worst, I guess I can say. With Saturn in the 12th is karmic lessons, like stuff coming up from the past, from childhood, from, you know, just from a really emotional place. And Caps usually don't like to display a lot of messy emotions. You guys like to appear like you have it all together. But Saturn in the 12th could have had you working on stuff from your past relationships, like early childhood experiences that like maybe you kept back there in your subconscious, but you didn't really address them, and now they're coming out, and it's just like, what the, really? Like, you're seeing it in different eyes now, like, so that's how that happened. That's what my parents were doing. That's what happened to me as a kid. Now I understand, like, wow, you know, and it can kind of mess with you a little bit, but you got to work on it though. Okay. And also Saturn in the 12th, This can be a time where you work on stuff like your spirituality and what you do to take time away to take care of yourself for Capricorns. Okay, so now it's time to proceed with that, with getting into practices, daily practices, like even rituals or spiritual stuff or occult things. Maybe getting into regularly doing things like meditating and praying and doing yoga and going to some sort of healing, you know, for yourself, something therapeutic for yourself, to learn how to take that time away and relieve that stress. That's what that 12th house is all about. So now proceeding with that, Capricorns, I'm so happy for you guys. I know that stuff can be a little tough for you guys, even though you guys deal with Saturn pretty well. So good luck to you Cappies with that. Now, for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, Venus and Leo is in your 8th house. Okay, so Venus and Leo in your 8th house, this is really good when it comes to financial stuff. And this can be like you guys also with intimacy. So some of you guys have been working on a lot of things privately with yourself, you know, like with Saturn in the 12th. And that could also be like reflections of things, looking back on how you handle intimate relationships too. And then when Venus steps into that 8th house, maybe it can help you to have a little bit more positivity in that area of life, whatever that means for you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, Capricorn? But also this is a house of money, and Capricorns, you guys can be about your money. So this can be an increase in some sort of financial venture that you have joint with another person. Maybe it's an increase in your partner's income. Maybe it is you getting together with another person to build something like a business, and then like you guys see an increase in your revenue, stuff like that. Venus in the 8th house too. This could be enjoying yourself in a way that's a little bit more on the taboo side, I guess you can say, enjoying taboo things in your free time, whatever you want to take that as, Capricorn. But like watching shows that are a little bit more darker themed, you know, stuff like that. But Venus in the 8th, yeah, it is really addressing things like you want to bond with somebody on a soul level. You really do. Capricorns aren't superficial anyway, normally. Caps alone, Capricorn energy, is not a very superficial energy. It wants things that are real and have substance. And when it comes to love, with Venus transiting your 8th house, you're really going to want that, like looking in the eyes with your partner, having those conversations that are very intimate and soul bonding, soul binding. Okay, so next up is Aquarius. Ooh, I got to hurry up and get through these because I got somewhere. I got to take my son to do some work, to work somewhere. So Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising. How is Saturn affecting you guys being in the sign of Sagittarius and moving forward? So this is in your 11th house. This is Aquarius stuff, okay? This is Aquarius stuff because you guys are the 11th sign, and this in your 11th house, working on Aquarius stuff. So Aquarians, what is your 11th house about? What has Saturn been bringing you lessons to? Well, this has to do with friends, and you guys are the sign of being able to connect with all different people from all different walks of life and connecting them somehow. You can be that middle person that connects all these different groups that would normally not be connected with one another or respect one another or something, you know? You guys are the sign of like friendships, of groups of friends and getting groups together. So you guys are also the sign of like the 11th house energy, excuse me. It can also be about acquaintances, like having layers to your groups. Like, okay, you have your core friends that you trust. Maybe you've known them for decades. You've known them for a long time, right? And then outside that circle is like acquaintances, people that you're cool with. You know them. You guys may see each other at the same places and hang out sometimes, but they're not like people you can have heart-to-heart conversations with and trust with personal information, right? Then outside that circle or bubble or whatever, you've got your networking people that you see them also at social events and you just wave hi, and that's really as far as it goes. You may like their posts on social media, and that's as far as it goes. You don't really converse with them, but you're still connected to them in like a web some kind of way, right? So that's 11th house stuff. Saturn transiting your 11th house, this could be getting rid, because Saturn energy can get rid of things, right? This could have made you Aquarian people Get rid of some friends. Get rid of friendships that are no longer good for you. Like taking a more objective look at your friends. And I have an Aquarius rising friend that used to have all these groups and get all of us together, all these different people together all the time. And it's like, oh, you go to this event that she invited you to, and there's all these people you don't really know, but every single one of those people are her best friend. Friend, hey, friend, hey, friend. Now her circle has shrunken. And I'm like, oh, that's because Saturn in her 11th house. Even for Aquarius people, you guys can, everybody goes through this transit at some point, and this is something that you guys have had to learn about, friends versus acquaintances. So some friendships may have been broken, you know, or you may have had to learn, hey, not everybody's your friend, Aquarius, okay? Some people may actually be your enemy. That actually happened to that friend that I talked about. She found out that one of her friends is actually an enemy of hers, like a secret enemy, like, you know, just not being loyal, not being a true loyal friend. Let's just put it that way. So she had to really learn to let that person go, okay? After years of friendship, it was very hard, and Saturn's lessons are not always easy. So it's been very hard, okay? So also, this could be working on building things with a group of people, a network of people. So I know another Aquarius rising, because I have many Aquarius rising friends. I always attract them to me, and I love you guys so much. But I have another Aquarius rising friend that has been working on getting a group together to do some a network, like a network of like-minded individuals that are like going on social media, doing some stuff together, broadcasting things together. So yeah, you guys could be actually working on that. And maybe there was some blocks with Saturn's energy. Actually, a friend of mine experienced that today. Saturn sitting direct, sitting there in her 11th house as an Aquarius rising. She has this group, right? And they have a website. Guess what happened? Their website was like shut down or something. Like there was some mishap with Mercury retrograde, and their website was shut down yesterday. So today Saturn moved direct, and she went in, she had to fix that to get their website, which 11th house rules websites, up and going again. Okay, so just, you guys could have been experiencing stuff like that with trying to network and do the Aquarian thing. Now they can proceed and start moving forward, and you guys can really be free to build your networks back up again, build friendships that are solid. Like when I had that transit Aquarius, I built even more solid friendships with people that were long lasting. Not just these acquaintances, oh, hey, I like your status or whatever, but no, it's long lasting friendships. So good luck to you guys, Aquarius, with that. Now for Venus and Leo, for Aquarius people, this is in your 7th house of relationships, one-to-one with people, and that does include love. And Aquarians have really been hit hard with the eclipses, with the nodes transiting your relationship house, and yeah, some of you guys have had some major shifts with relationships. So Venus there, it's going to soften things up. It's going to start bringing more of the positive to relationships. So if you guys have been single, maybe you had a breakup and maybe it was kind of tough with the eclipses, Venus moving in there maybe can bring you the company of somebody pleasant. You know, take that however you want to take it, Aquarius. So pleasant company, yes, guys. So also, I found that Venus in the 7th transits not only brings love and romance and stuff, but you do become a little bit more popular, which Aquarians probably don't mind very much, being an air sign, and people just contacting you and wanting to hang out with you, wanting to spend time with you, wanting to, like, maybe even you can have friends try to hook you up with somebody. You know, I always see that with this Venus in the 7th transit too. So being seen in a more positive light by other people, yes. You know, hanging out with people, yes. It's much more pleasant with Venus transiting your 7th house. So to you Aquarians looking for love, this is a really good time. This is a hot time to like radiate Venus energy out there, like when it comes to romance. All right. So now last but not least, Pisces, and then we'll get to some coffee talk really quick. Then I gotta jet out. So for Pisces, sun, moon, or ascendant, Saturn moving direct is in your 10th house. Ooh, okay, all right. So this has been you guys experiencing maybe some lessons, maybe some difficulty when it comes to your career and your public image. So some Pisces, you guys may have had some issues to where maybe your public image was tarnished in some sort of way. Your reputation was tarnished. You know, somebody was out to get you and like put something out there in public that was embarrassing to you. Or, you know, maybe your bosses, you've had a tough boss. Oh my gosh, I have heard from some Pisces. They've had their bosses are tough on them, their parents even, because the 10th house can rule parental figures, especially the ones that are in the main authority position for you. So parental figures, bosses, very much more putting pressure on Pisces people. And Pisces, you guys are another sign that likes to be like Peter Pan. You like to just be in your zone, floating, doing what you want. You don't want to worry about time, deadlines, schedules. Psh, really? Like, you guys don't want to worry about any of that. But now this can be a time where you have to have that type of responsibility, Pisces. You really do. It's that time, and you have people really pushing you towards that. If you want to be a great career person, you've got to meet deadlines. You've got to do all that stuff that's not very fun and floaty, you know, and go with the flow. No, you got to go with a strict regimen or schedule or something, okay? So, yeah, Pisces, that could be happening for you guys. And some of you guys could have maybe lost jobs or lost out on career opportunities because of certain reasons, with Saturn sitting in your 10th house, and especially when it went retrograde, could have brought up some issues when it comes to you building your career, your image, and then it had to break all that stuff down again and now start rebuilding it. So Saturn moving forward, that's what it's about. It's about rebuilding all that stuff, okay? So, yeah, building your public image, Pisces, a revamp, maybe a revamp of things. If you have a website, if you have business cards, if you have a position that may not be public, but like within your career, your job, to where people see you, like they really see you, rebuilding that. And so now you can move forward, and hopefully you guys will have an awesome time with your career and much better luck, okay? So now for Venus and Leo, for Pisces people, this is transiting your 6th house. So this actually goes hand in hand with Saturn moving direct, because these are both work houses. The 6th house is work, your work environment, the job that you have, the services you perform, the duties that you do. And Venus here can bring a more pleasant energy to your work environment. Hallelujah. Saturn in the 10th, those strict bosses, boy. Woo, that is unpleasant, right? Now Venus here is like, oh, hi, Pisces. Wow, you look nice today here at work. Here, let's go out to lunch. Oh, I brought you some food. I brought you a gift, Pisces, because you're so fabulous and do such a good job. Now you can start experiencing some of that a little more with these two planets, you know, shifting like this. Excuse me. Also, in regards to your health, Pisces have been learning a lot of hard lessons about health. Let me tell you, with these eclipses in your 6th house, with, you know, these other Mars and stuff transiting through your 6th house. But Venus moving there, maybe she can bring a little bit more of a positive energy there to your health. But also a fair warning that Venus is indulgent. The 6th house can be your diet, your routine, your habits. And Venus does rule food too. So, and she rules sweets and the things that aren't really that great for us, but they taste great. We love them. So you can develop more of a habit of sweets and stuff, really indulging in that to where it's not that great for your health, Pisces, and it can throw you off balance, okay? So just be careful with that, but this is a really good transit for work and for health, beautifying your health inside and out so that physically, like, you feel good and you look good too, okay? So that was for Pisces. So that was it for the astrology forecast portion. Woo, we got through it. And I think we are going on, how long? 2 hours, guys. Wow, this is going on really long, but thank you guys for being here this long. Oh my gosh. So now the coffee talk. I'm probably only going to spend like 10, 15 minutes on this because this is already a very long broadcast and, you know, I got to take off. So to those who are tuning out, thank you so much. And don't forget, I do offer readings on astrologer.com. The info's below, and it's also in the I button in the corner up there. So hit me up, send me an email, go to my readers page, book a reading. I would love, love, love to speak with you guys because this is what I'm here for. I love to talk to you guys. I love giving readings. So thank you so much if you're tuning out. But now, okay, for the coffee talk, so the celebrity portion. As I mentioned in the beginning, Yesterday, on August 25th, it was the anniversary of the passing of Aaliyah. If you guys don't know who she is, she was a singer slash actress. She was just starting her acting career. She was only 22 years old. She passed away very tragically in a plane crash in the Bahamas as she was filming a video for one of her new singles off her new album at the time. This was back in 2001. August 25th, 2001. And she was a phenomenal person, and she's admired by many, even to this day. She's like one of those legendary artists that people, they still, like her image is still everywhere. People are still like very defensive over her, like don't talk about her, don't talk smack about her because she was an angel and all that stuff, right? So, yes, Lisa, I remember too. And yes, Miriam, I grew up listening to her music too. So Aaliyah, personally, I'm a really big fan of hers. I always have been since she came out with her very first album. I think I was in junior high school at the time, and Back and Forth, that song was like a theme song to me and like my friends back then, because she says, you know, it's Friday, it's time to get out and party and have fun. And when you're young and you're a teenager, that's what life is all about, right? So that was like, hey, you know, that was our song. And also her style. I already talked to you guys about her style. Oh my gosh, I love her style. She was so futuristic. And she has an energy that's both very feminine and also masculine in a way. So she could pull off wearing some clothes that were like normally masculine and for men. But she was still very beautiful, very graceful. And I can relate to her and her personality and her style so much. So yeah, I remember the day she passed. I was very upset. It still gets me choked up to this day to talk about her, to think about her, to watch her videos, listen to her music. It's very hard not to. Very hard not to. And I remember the day she passed to like nothing, because there was some butthole guy that I was talking to, and he called me and we were talking on the phone, and I was like, yeah, I was talking about Aaliyah. I knew nothing about what happened to her. I was talking about her. I was like, yeah, you know, Aaliyah, and I love her. She is so awesome. And he goes, she was awesome. And I'm like, what do you mean was? He's like, oh, you didn't know she died? I was like, excuse me? Shut up. And he's like, no, she died. You haven't seen the news? I was like, I don't watch the news. It's like, you might want to watch the news. He's like, he had the internet at the time and I didn't. That tells you how old I am, guys. This is way before everybody had the internet. So he saw an article and then he told me, I just saw it on the news in an article. She died. I was like, whatever. Sure enough, I turned on the news. Oh my gosh. A stab in the heart. I was like, how could this be? She's like a sister to me. Oh my God. So anyhow, she was a beautiful person. And yeah, he was very rude to Tyra. That's why I dropped him very quickly. Not too long after that, as a matter of fact. You don't talk about my artists like that, okay? And remember I was talking about Michael Jackson? Michael Jackson's birthday is in a few days, and he's another artist very near and dear to me. A lot of us grew up listening to his music. I mean, whether you were born in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, doesn't matter. He's always been relevant. And he's had a huge impact on the world as an artist, his music, his work, everything. So I once dated a guy very briefly, and it was brief. One of many reasons is because I brought him over to my house to watch DVDs, and I had Michael Jackson's greatest video hits. And this guy told me we were watching Thriller, the Thriller video, right? The full length video. And they were doing the dance, right? He goes, oh, they're doing the Teen Wolf dance. And I'm like, excuse me, what? Who are you? The Teen Wolf dance. Like, no, in Teen Wolf, they're doing the Thriller dance. And he's like, oh, I've never seen this video. I'm like, you don't know Michael Jackson's work. You never seen Thriller? No, I've never seen it. And I'm like, get out of my house. I was like, there's the door. I'm just kidding. I'm over exaggerating a little bit, guys, but it went a little something like that. I was like, are you kidding me? So anyhow, don't talk about our artists like that if we're music lovers, okay? Now, let me get into Aaliyah's chart really quick. A few fun facts about her, a few fun facts about Michael Jackson, and then we'll close out, guys. What cave was he from, Sally? I don't know. He was very sheltered growing up, I found out. I asked him. Of course, I wasn't rude and I didn't say, get out of my house. I was playing around with that. No, I asked him, how did you not know? He was raised very sheltered, not able to watch MTV. And hey, I was born watching MTV every day, okay? So yeah, that's why he didn't know who Michael Jackson was. So let me screen share really quick, guys. Let's talk about, oh my gosh, Astro Pluto Queen. You're here. She is awesome, guys. She's one of my fellow astrologer buddies. Very knowledgeable lady. Hey. Yes, Tyra, I miss MJ. We all miss MJ. We all miss Aaliyah. So let's get into their charts really, really quick here. Let me tell you guys what I see for them in their charts that are very interesting facts. Let's see really quick. Okay. So let me screen share and show you guys. Okay. So if you could see this. All right. So this is the chart of Miss Aaliyah. Okay, so, and as far as I know, her birth time has been verified based on the transits, based on her life, based on her personality. Everything looks to be pretty accurate, feels accurate to me as an intuitive person. So it has her as a 22-degree Aquarius ascendant, okay? And these are, oh, actually, the transits are the transits the day that she passed. I forgot I had pulled those up to see what was going on during that time. But anyhow, this is Aaliyah. This is her chart. Aquarius rising. So once again, that explains why she was so futuristic in her style. And when working with Timbaland and Missy Elliott, two other people that have Aquarian energy very strong in their charts, Missy Elliott has Mars in Aquarius. Timbaland, I think he's an Aquarius sun or Venus. I forgot, but he has some personal planets in Aquarius. So they worked very well together. That's why their sounds sounded like they were from outer space. And Aaliyah fit right in with that Aquarius rising. Not only that, but her Mercury was in the 11th house. So Mercury is how you think, how you communicate, how you speak. So she was very, very Aquarian in nature. And the 11th house is similar energy to Aquarius, the 11th sign. So that explains that. So Mercury in Capricorn. That's why she was kind of like soft-spoken in a way. And her Mercury makes a trine to Saturn, the ruling planet of Capricorn. So she was like, she had a lot of Capricorn energy in her, Saturn energy. And excuse me, also with Capricorn being the 12th sign from the ascendant using whole sign astrology, her Mercury would also be in the 12th house. So she's got a lot of 12th house stuff going on too. So Aaliyah was the type of person that said that she was a homebody. She was a true homebody. She liked to spend time at home, watching movies, and really like getting out of touch with reality. Well, that was her 12th house energy here. Escapism from the world and tuning into a fantasy world. This is also what made her a phenomenal dancer because, and I'm not saying all Pisces can dance now, okay? Because I know some of you guys are not that great at it, and you'll admit it too. But Pisces energy, people who have Pisces or 12th house energy very strong, especially with their movements, which is Mars or Mercury, they can channel energy from, it seems like, outer space, right? Out of nowhere, to just go with the flow and move with based on what they feel and what they hear, which is music. So this is what makes somebody a really great dancer, okay? Mercury or Mars in the 12th house or in the 12th sign or in Pisces. Also, look at here. She has Venus. Well, you see, this is actually a wide conjunction. I usually use 8 degrees of separation. This is more like 11 degrees. But maybe it could still be felt faintly. She has Venus conjunct Neptune. So Neptune's energy is the same as 12th house. It's very flowy. It's about music, art, dance, escapism, all that jazz. Aaliyah said that if she wasn't an actress or a singer, she would want to be a teacher. I think she said like a teacher of music or dance or something. And Sagittarius, this is her midheaven, her career point in Sagittarius. And this is a sign of teaching. And, you know, this is the arts, is Venus and Neptune. So yeah, she would have been a great teacher of the arts if she didn't take the career path she did. Now, look at this. Venus at 8 degrees of Sag, midheaven 8 degrees of Sag. Almost to the T, guys. It's 8 degrees 59 minutes of arc, and this is 8 degrees 56 minutes of arc. So this is why that almost exact conjunction of Venus to the midheaven is why her public image is still very positive to this day. There's hardly ever any Aliyah bashing, any people saying negative things about her. Like, you know, it's usually all positive, and people saying, oh, she was an angel here on earth. Don't talk about baby girl like that, you know. And Venus in Sag really loves to laugh, just enjoys life to the fullest, doesn't worry about tomorrow. It's just enjoyment. So she always says she's a workaholic, which Capricorn energy can be, and also Virgo moon energy can be. She's a workaholic and a perfectionist, Virgo moon, hello. But she still enjoys the work she does. That's that Venus in Sag up here. But also, look, she has Jupiter, the planet that rules Sagittarius, and rules being jolly and happy and enjoying what you do in her work house, in the 6th house of work, in Leo. Okay, so that's why she really enjoyed the work that she did. Now, also, Jupiter, the ruler of the 10th house in the 6th house of work, she always stressed the fact that you must love what you do as a career. This is the work you do. This is your career. There's a connection between the two with the ruler of the career and the work house. You got to love what you do, right? Now, also, this is another interesting thing. She was very private person. It's like she loved being admired in her public image, but also she had to have her private time. She had to have her private life. Now that's because, number one, for Aquarius rising, just looking at whole sign astrology, the 10th house of public image naturally for Aquarius is Scorpio. Okay, although that's for her 9th house. By Placidus system, but using whole sign, it's Scorpio. So that's having that air of mystery, you know, it's having that air of mystery and privacy, okay? And people looking at you like, wow, they're mysterious and scorpionic. That's why she exuded a little bit of that. But also because Aliyah, now using whole sign astrology once again, Virgo moon. Virgo is the 8th sign from Aquarius naturally in the order of the zodiac. So she kind of also had the 8th house moon stuff going on. So 8th house moon, that's private, that's scorpionic. And that's also why she liked to wear a lot of black, is because of that, but also because of her Capricorn energy. Capricorn energy also rules the color black, is connected to the color black, wearing it and stuff. So yeah, and on the day that she passed, Uranus was conjunct her ascendant exactly, and Uranus does rule sudden things happening unexpectedly, and she was in a plane crash, unfortunately, which was very unexpected. So that was an untimely, unexpected passing, unexpected things happening to herself, which is the ascendant. So yeah, so that's Aliyah. That's Aliyah. May she RIP. But man, another exciting thing that's happening in her world, guys, is they just released Aliyah for MAC Cosmetics. MAC Cosmetics comes out with collections once in a while that are collaborations with celebrities. They had a Mariah Carey one. They had a one for Selena. And now they have petitioned one to be for Aliyah. So, oh my gosh, that's fantastic. Now, that was brought about by the eclipse, and I'm sure the eclipse happening right here in her 7th house, that probably helped to bring that about. Saturn is up here in her 10th house, transiting currently, and I do find that a lot of times with major transits, even after a celebrity has passed, you can see things happening in with their image or something when there are current planetary transits to their natal chart, even though they have passed on as a human, in human form, you know what I mean? So yeah, there could, now it's like finally something moving direct, Saturn moving direct up here. That could be the Aliyah for MAC Cosmetics deal coming about. So interesting stuff, right? So that's what I had to say about Aliyah. So yeah, woo, love Aliyah. So now I'm going to talk really quickly about Michael Jackson. Oh, hey, what's up, Phil? What's up, Phil? Thanks for being here. So now let's talk about Michael Jackson really quick. So Michael Jackson, and for What? Let us know about, okay. For Shahi, let me know what's going on with that situation. Okay, so anyhow, Michael Jackson, for those who don't know who he is, okay? Sometimes people don't know. Michael Jackson was a world-renowned artist, a singer, a phenomenal dancer once again. And what he has in common with Aaliyah is he has that Virgo energy and he has that Piscean energy, okay? Aaliyah had the 12th house and the Virgo, and then Michael Jackson has Virgo and Pisces. So he is very, very, very artistic and creative, go with the flow, but also he's very perfectionist with his creative stuff, okay? So that's what they have in common. That's why they were great dancers and singers, just all around entertainers. And they had that Leo energy. She has Jupiter and Leo. He has some Leo planets. So yes. Shimon. Yes, that's MJ. Anyhow, so let's talk a little bit about Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson also, he's gotten into some trouble, and I'm not going to get all scandalous up in here because that's not what Coffee Talk is about over here on this channel, okay? But Michael Jackson has gotten into some trouble, and he's known for being very childlike and connecting with children and having children over his house, and he just really wants to be a child again. And he has a song called Have You Seen My Childhood? It's very, very sad, you know? Oh, okay. I thought you guys said that Phil was here. Sorry, our Phil. I thought you guys said our Phil was here. Oh, he is here. Hey, what's up, Phil? Hey, what's up, Phil? Anyhow, so that's Michael Jackson. Childlike, very childlike. Why? Why the whole childhood thing and children thing with Michael Jackson? Okay, so let's take a look-see here. Let's show his chart really quick and chat about him, and I'll show you guys some interesting things about Michael Jackson. Then I gotta head out here. We're going on 2 hours. Thank you guys for being here for 2 hours with me. If you're still here during Coffee Talk. Okay, so where's my screen share? Okay, here we go. All right, so, well, this is still Aaliyah. So let's go over to Michael Jackson, to MJ. Okay, so this is Michael Jackson's chart. Now, Michael Jackson, and I believe his birth time has been verified by relatives, including his mother and one of his nephews. So Michael Jackson is a Pisces rising and a Pisces moon. Super uberly sensitive, very sensitive person. This is why he had a love for animals, large animals, which is Pisces, and small animals, which is Virgo. He loved them all. Pisces energy is very hippie and free love, like, to where we just love every being here on earth. We could be very sensitive even towards plants and flowers, okay? Like, just very sensitive people. This is why he was sensitive, guys. Now, this is he's got planets in Leo, okay? He's got Mercury and Venus and Uranus in Leo. So Venus and Uranus conjunct. This is why he could dance like that, like how he could. He's got Leo, which is very expressive, very creative, very showy, show-offy. That's also why he loved to wear things like gold and, like, you know, that style that he had. And he was deemed the king of pop, even though he was like, I never call myself that. Well, he's got that Leo energy popping off. So people were like, hey, Leo energy, good dancer, good hair, wearing gold, you must be a king, okay? So this is also Venus and Uranus. Uranus energy, I find that people who are dancers, having formerly been in that world myself, people who have Uranian energy and they're dancers, they can do all those moves that are like robotic and out of the ordinary. They can do pop-in, lock-in. They can do all of that stuff that requires unusual movements of the body, okay? So Venus and Leo combined with Uranus and Leo, that's why he was able to really get those dance moves that, like, are unique. This is the planet of unique is Uranus. So he was very unique in the way he expressed himself through dance. And this is in the 6th house, which is similar to Virgo. This is about perfectionism. So perfecting those moves, even those robotic moves, they were smooth, they were clean, you know? So he was really good with that because of this energy. Mercury in Leo too. He has Mercury retrograde. So he was pretty like a quiet person and very shy. I think this has mostly something to do with that. But also, Mercury retrograde in the 6th house is not going to roar as much as the average Mercury in Leo. Now, Sun conjunct Pluto people. Now, Pluto people, Plutonian people, they're in touch with the darker side of life. And Michael did like Halloween and, you know, the dark, especially like costumes and stuff. That's why he did Thriller. And I think there was another video called like Ghost, something to do with Ghost or something, where he played different characters and it was a little darker themed and scary. Well, this is because he's very Plutonian. This is also why he was very private too. Pluto, Sun, Pluto people, a lot of times they are private. Depending upon the sign. I know a Sun and Pluto and Leo person who's like an exhibitionist. Okay. I'm talking about Kim Cattrall, who's Samantha on Sex and the City, if you guys know that show. She's an exhibitionist. But this is Sun and Pluto in Virgo, shy Virgo. Pluto is privacy. So this is why he was like that. Now, he had a big concern with health. He always worried about health all the time. This is because of the Sun and Pluto conjunction in the sign of Virgo, in the 6th house, because this is worries, okay? Virgo energy could be very worrisome, and Pluto energy could be very, very paranoid on a negative side. So he did have a lot of paranoias about health all the time. But this is also energy that made him such a perfectionist, such a powerful presence. A lot of times people, when they have Sun conjunct Pluto, Pluto rules obsession, and people can become really obsessed with these people. They do exude a very powerful energy that other people feel, and they just like soak that in, and it can become like that. People become fanatics over them, okay? A lot of times. So that's why the fanaticism, I think that's the word, with Michael Jackson. Now, the last thing I was going to tell, I was very surprised by Mars and Taurus in the 2nd from Michael, to be honest. But then I watched some footage of him, like behind the scenes, and he went into some shopping mall and he was like, I must buy all the things. I must buy all these beautiful things, especially shiny gold things because of that Leo. And then like Taurus energy in the 2nd house loves to accumulate things that are beautiful. So then I was like, oh, okay, that's where I see it play out. This can also contribute to great dancing as well, being in the sign of Taurus, which is all about art and beauty. Now, him being very childlike, Peter Pan-like, check this out. This is the asteroid Pan, and it does rule things that are similar to Peter Pan, never wanting to grow up. He has it square his moon, square his ascendant. So this was like a challenge with like never wanting to grow up, that Peter Pan syndrome. Also, children, the asteroid Child. He has it next to his Venus and his Mercury. So he can really and it's in the sign of Leo, which rules children as well. So he can really connect to children, okay? And being childlike. Also, have you seen my childhood? Look at here, look at here. Saturn up here on the midheaven. Saturn in the 10th house. This is having a parent or parents that are very, very strict. And just like Aliyah had a planet almost exactly conjunct her midheaven, and it really showed in her career and how people saw her. This is same with Michael Jackson. 19 degrees 07 of arc Saturn, 19 degrees 31 degrees of arc midheaven, almost exact. So this is your public image in your career, and his reputation and career, it was so hard, such a struggle to keep a positive one with that Saturn there. But also this represents Joe Jackson, totally represents Joe Jackson. One representation of him really putting that Saturnian pressure on him from a young age to perform correctly, do it right, do it over again, come in and practice. No, you can't go out and play. All that stuff is right here, guys. That's why he was treated as an adult, as a child, right here, okay? And then also Sun conjunct Pluto. Sun is the father, Pluto. Abuse. Pluto can rule abuse. This is why Michael was one of the hardest targets, as they say, of Joe Jackson's abuse. So that's unfortunate. Excuse me. But yeah, he was a very sensitive soul. That Pisces and Virgo axis can deal with health, including mental health, emotional health. And he had a opposition there and a disbalance a lot. So it was a really hard struggle for him. I really feel for him. It was all in his astrological makeup here. So that was Michael Jackson, guys. So yeah, very interesting stuff about him. Yeah, Joe was no joke. That's so true, Tyra. So true. Tyra, we're going to get together tomorrow, girl. I'm so excited about that. I'm going to be putting that out there very soon. So anyway, guys, thank you so much. This has gone on for 2 hours today. I had a lot of information. I appreciate you guys being here. If you've been here this long, chatting with me here. And don't forget, like I said, on astrologer.com, go to my readers page, see what I've got for you guys to where we can connect on a personal level. And I am working on September monthly horoscopes also, and a little something for everybody in September. A couple of special things in September for you guys that you'll see in my September videos that I will announce at that time. So look out for those coming in the next week. And I will see you guys next Friday. No more Mercury retrograde stuff, please, Mercury. I'll be here on Friday to talk to you guys. We will talk about some more celebrity stuff. Once again, email me your suggestions for topics. I have a list of them going, or leave them below this video in the comments. All right? So I'll see you guys next week. I love you guys so much. Thank you for your support. Thank you for always being here and chatting with me and supporting my crazy stuff that I like to talk about here. All right. Peace out, guys.